Hello and good morning. I've got some really cool updates um, with my training, getting back into the swing of a good and regular routine, and really getting to know myself in a new way that I didn't think would happen so quickly, getting back into my routine. A couple weeks ago, my husband and I went on vacation and we went to the Jersey Shore for a week. While we were gone for about 5 days, and we had 2 half days of travel, and the rest of the time we were hanging out on the beaches, going to the shops, seeing friends that we haven't seen in so long. And it was really cool because they're some of Zach's best friends, and they're his like gaming friends that he's online with like every single night, and they really only get together like 2-3 times a year, if that much. So we haven't seen them for a year or so, or maybe 2 years. So it's been really cool, it was really cool to spend some time with Zach's friends, who are also like my friends in a really cool way. Because just like Millie Bobby Brown said, her husband's friends are her friends, and that's kind of like her circle. It's like that, like with me and my husband. Like, my husband's friends are my friends, because somewhere along the way, either my friends moved away and we only keep in touch through like Facebook Messenger, or like I just don't have those friends anymore because we've gone in different directions. And I've just realized that my husband has so much better judgment in people than I do when it comes to making friends, because his friends are so cool and so much fun compared to so many of the people I've met in my life. I think it's because, like, a lot of the time, I know it sounds bad, but like, I base who I want to be friends with on how people look, instead of like getting to know somebody, or like, I don't know, or it depends on like who I've heard from, like if they're like what other people say, instead of getting to know myself. And a lot of the time that ends me with like superficial friendships, and friendships that don't really last longer than a couple years, or a couple months, or even a couple of times getting coffee, something like that. And a lot of my husband's friends are from his workplace, online gaming, friends from back when he was in high school who he's just still kept in touch with. Like, this fall, we are going back to his hometown because he is a part of another one of his best friends' wedding back from back home. Zach is from he was born in Las Vegas, but he grew up in Ohio. And he just, in the last, 5 or 6 years, has been on the East Coast. So it's really cool always going back to his hometown, because it's so far away from anything I've ever known. I did travel a lot growing up, all over the United States, in and out of the country, just places that like was such an awesome opportunity to experience as a young person. So it's not that seeing new places is like strange, or like not what I would have experienced before, but because it's still and always will seem like such a new place to me every time we go to his hometown in Ohio. It's always just such a fun experience to go there. So that's what I'm looking forward to this fall. We just went to New Jersey, like I just said, and I don't know what else we have planned for this summer. I know Zach is going to be working a ton, because he's always trying to like get us like on track, save money, everything he can. He's such a good guy, and it just makes me so happy that like he's all mine. So with that being said, I have been applying for jobs, and I've been applying for jobs for the last few weeks, and I've had 2 interviews so far of people getting back to me. I still have to go into the school in Hamden and pick up the application for their substitute teaching. I told them that I would go in before we left on vacation, and that was 2 weeks ago. And I know that sounds really bad on my part, but it has been not hectic or like anything other than normal for us. But I just always forget to wear something other than sweatpants to go drop off my husband. And a lot of the days lately he's been going in early, so he's there by 7 o'clock, and they don't even open until I think 8 for that part of the office, for applications for the substitute teaching position that I would be going for. So I would be sitting in their parking lot for 45 minutes, which would be fine, but seems kind of like a waste of time. But I think that today I'm going to the gym, so when I go to the gym today, I can stop by their office and pick up an application. And I don't think it would look too awful if I showed up in like gym attire. Like today, I'm literally wearing like a Hufflepuff t-shirt and green sweatpants. I don't want to show up to a potential job wearing just that, and I have flip-flops on too, Zach's flip-flops. So I wasn't exactly like professional looking this morning to stop in and pick up an application. I don't know how that would come across to them if I did show up in something like that. So I would like to, put on some nicer clothes, something actually looking, somewhat presentable, like I'm actually about to do something, instead of wearing this. But that's what's up with me in my job search, and that's what Zach's been up to with work. He's been working so hard lately. Like ever since he started at this job, it's been almost a year. I think he's been there for 9 or 10 months. And he is just killing it. He is like knocking it out of the park, to be honest. And he is doing such a good job. He is providing for me in our house, and he does stuff for other people too, and like he's there for anybody he can be there for. Like hands down, he is the most generous person I've ever met. And he's so strong when it comes to me and like my chronic illness and what I deal with that, like even on a daily basis, even if it's not like outrageous, like he's there for me every step of the way. So back to my training. Yesterday was my first day getting kind of like back on track with things with my eating. So my nutrition was back on track. I went to the gym. I went for a walk. I was outside a ton with Gabby. So I was getting tons of movement all day long. And my trainer and I have been talking a lot about walking outside and how I kind of have like this aversion to being outside by myself walking when I think people are like watching me walk. I don't know, it's weird. But I realized, I told her yesterday, because she's like, go for a walk right now. But it was already like dark outside, and it had just been like a huge thunderstorm. So everything was really wet, and we were making dinner, ordering dinner. We ordered out last night. But I was like not really like, I know I definitely could have like hopped outside for like 10 minutes if I really wanted to, but it would have been dark by the time I got back. And I also not too fond of being outside in the dark. So, but I told her I would go first thing this morning. So on my way from dropping off Zach, I stopped in the trails in Old Town, and I walked the Orono trails for 30 minutes. And I texted her that I got back, and I said, I think a huge part of why I was like afraid of being on walks and stuff by myself was because I knew I wouldn't have my vape, and not having my vape on me gave me anxiety. And it's crazy. It's been almost 2 weeks since I quit vaping, and this is my first time going for a walk outside in those, other than when we were on vacation. But I had my vape back then. So it's been about a week and a half of being vape free. And other than going to the gym and walking, I've been outside in my yard, but that's like private. So I was like around other people. I was around animals on the trail. Like there are dogs and everything. And not once did I feel anxious. Not once did I feel like afraid that like I was being like imposing on people, or that like I looked stupid doing what I was doing. So I think a huge reason of why I was feeling that way was because of the nicotine addiction, and like feeling like if I didn't have that as like a comfort, it was literally like a child with their blanket. Like it was such a cover up for like things that I thought I was feeling, but the only reason I was feeling those things was because I was vaping. Like I didn't realize like how much it was holding me back in so many ways. Like literally, I went on so many walks by myself or with Zach or with Gabby on those trails. And for the first time today, like I actually smelled the smell of the forest, and like my smell is so much better. My taste is so much better. Like I've been trying really hard to like focus on not eating a lot more, because I know that when you quit something like that, like your metabolism goes down and you can potentially put on like 10 or 15, 10, like 5, 10, 15 pounds or whatever after quitting. And I have put on a couple pounds, honestly, since I quit vaping. But like I can kind of see it like in my face and stuff, but I don't think it's really like that big of a deal. Like if I'm still going to the gym, if I'm still eating healthy, reaching my protein goals, that's really all that matters. So weight fluctuates with like water weight, how much carbs you eat, how much protein you eat will go down. Like if there's a lot of salt in your food, if it's prepared by a restaurant, a lot of the time you get water retention like the next day. So I am trying really hard not to focus on weight itself, but just how I feel, how I appear to myself, like how my clothes fit, and everything else feels pretty much the same. Like, but I have been feeling like a little bloated lately because I have been eating so many sweets. Like it's crazy. That's like my downfall, is like sweet things. So I've been trying really hard to kind of cut back on that and just focus on like, this is what I just had after my walk. I had a Built Puff bar, and they're really good. They're like 17 grams of protein. They're made with real chocolate. It's like a coconut marshmallow covered in chocolate. So it does taste sweet, but it doesn't have the sugar. And this is what I got for after my workout today. I have one of these pretty much like every single day because it really helps me reach my protein goals without eating a bunch. Because I feel like if I didn't have it, it's 42 grams of protein. It's a Fairlife Core Power Protein Shake. And I feel like if I didn't have one of these every day, it would be such a struggle to reach my protein goals. I still eat like yogurt and chicken, and I have my protein waffle sometimes for breakfast, or like yesterday I had a salmon and lox bagel. And then we always have like a protein for dinner. Like we usually either have like pork, beef, or chicken or fish. What else can you have? I'm not really sure. But that's kind of where I get my proteins, is from like meat and dairy. And I used to be vegetarian or pescatarian. I always told people I was vegetarian. I don't think back then I really knew the difference. But I always ate fish, always ate seafood, and then I ate a ton of like the vegan, like prepared, like tofu, tempeh, textured tofu kind of things, that were super processed, but they were lower calorie and they weren't meat. So when I started eating meat again, when I was 27, I think I was 27 when I started eating meat again. And there were a couple times where I tried it. I stopped eating meat when I was 16. And I did it for about 10 years. There were a couple times that I did kind of like, delve into the idea of eating meat again. But I was really, really unhealthy about it. And I would always go back to being vegetarian, but now I'm strictly not vegetarian. No restrictions. The only thing I track really is my protein. I am mindful about my carbs and fats, but I don't stress. Usually my carbs are between 150 and like 180 a day, and my fats are around like 150, no, not 150, around like 50 to 60. On a high day they're around 70, and that's when I'm eating like something fried, like french fries or something like that. So or if I, this is another thing, if I eat McDonald's, my fats are always super, super high. And McDonald's was always my go-to on a day where I didn't want to make lunch, or I really wanted like just a snack and thought I was getting healthy protein by eating a McChicken. And you gotta be kidding me. But my husband has been trying for so long to get us to stop eating fast food. And because for a long time he was like really into eating McDonald's at night. He would order like a ton of McDonald's, and he would always offer me some, and I would always take it. And then he stopped pretty much eating fast food unless it was the only option for him at his job for lunchtime. But he's been trying to get me to cut back on my fast food. And I had the McDonald's app, so I was always getting like, more food for less. And like, I would only get, not only, but like, if I were to get something, this is what I would get. I would get a double cheeseburger and a 6-piece McNugget and a water, and I would have that for lunch. And I did that a couple times a week. I tried not to do it more than once, but oftentimes I would do it, 2 or 3 times a week. And I haven't had McDonald's for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. I don't crave it anymore. There are just sometimes things, especially like around my time of the month, I don't actually have a period because I have the Nexplanon implant like somewhere right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the scar right there, and the implant is like right here. I have that in my arm, and so I don't actually get a period, but I still like have my menstrual cycle. And around my time of the month, every month, I like crave like a cheeseburger and chocolate. Like, it's crazy. My trainer is getting me to realize that that having stuff like that during that time of month is really not ideal, and instead having leaner meats and less refined carbs is really important for women and girls on their period, because it'll help with your moods and like stabilizing the mood swings that come with menstrual cycles and periods. So especially for me with my chronic illness and already dealing with mood swings quite a bit, I have come to realize that I will probably start implementing those kinds of ways of eating while I'm having my period or time of the month. And that it's going to be really important to bettering my mental health, because especially, hold on, I want to roll the window down. Sitting in the car is getting hot. No, it's really loud. But I was texting my trainer this morning. I sent her a picture of me on my walk, and I told her, I said, I really think it was just my vape. I really think it was just my vape, like, causing me that anxiety and like fear of being alone by myself outside. Just irrational. It was an irrational fear, because today I didn't feel it at all. And she goes, facing your fears and kind of like leaning into those fears to kind of conquer them will make you a better person mentally, physically, and overall ways of your life. And I realized that for me, I've realized since I started working with Sakura in January, that this physical journey that I'm on is more mental than anything I've ever done before. And it's so amazing what she's taught me over the last 4 or 5 months on how to handle my emotions, my fears, my wants, my cravings, my desires, my appearance, stuff like that. And also like letting go of things that have been bad for me in the past, like eating patterns, ways of thinking about food, food freedom, and also freedom from having to fit into a certain category of what I think I should look like. Like, this girl is amazing. When I tell you there's somebody that can help you, she is that person, because she is absolutely down to earth, and she is so cool and calm and has a very gentle way of pushing you to do your best. And I think that she is awesome. And it makes me feel awesome about myself. So, with all that being said, I'm excited to move forward. I do have plans to go to the gym today. Tomorrow, I have plans with my mom. And then Saturday, Zach is also working, so I'll also be going to the gym. And my goal this week is to do 3 gym sessions after not doing any for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I don't even know. It was the beginning of, I think, April. So it was like April 15th. It's been a while since I've been going to the gym. So I'm excited to get back into it. And I did go for my walk today, but I'm going to run inside, have some breakfast, and take care of things around the house, and then head to the gym. And I'll catch you later. Love you. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.